Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, coming to you from the Ventura Cigar Company studio, and with me today is Jiunn Liu. How you doing, Jiunn?
I'm doing good.
So today we are talking about the Flor Selección Suprema number 560 Robusto. Cigar is 4.87 inches by 50 ring gauge. Comes out of the A-Bam factory in the Dominican Republic. Wrappers from Ecuador, binders from the Dominican Republic, and the filler is Dominican Republic and Nicaragua. It is blended by Santana Diaz. The price point is $9, and the cigar was released in May of 2018. So, Jiunn, what was your smoking experience like?
So first third, it's somewhat expected for most of Santana's blended cigars. It's well balanced flavor approach. Toast mixed nuts is most recognizable. Supporting these notes, cedar, like a tame mannered like black pepper spice comes through. When I retrohaled, increasing black pepper. Also, that cedar note shines a bit more as well. Finish medium, length, lingering mixed nuts, and it's really clean on the palate. That's something to not take lightly. I think a lot of cigars, especially in the non-Cuban world, finish could be like just kind of cakes your palate. It could be a little like gritty, but I thought the finish on this was really clean. Strength and body medium. Second, third, flavors become sharper, but sharper in the sense that there's not like a harshness, but it's like an increased level. So it's not to be associated with like a like unrefined or rawness to it. So sharpness increases in spice. It also brings attention to baking spices now. The baking spices paired with that toast works really well together. And then within the last third, it's interesting that spice delivery, that baking spice delivery, kind of brings like an effervescence to the profile. The melding of flavors still continues to be enjoyable with toast, mixed nuts, baking spices, minerals, all wrapped up in a clean finish and finishing medium on strength and body. In terms of construction, I rated the burn to be good. Good, but it needed improvement. Couple touch-ups, realized were the main issues. Ash held on strong, burning temp cool, good smoke production. Draw, it was average. It was pretty tight. I mean, I try to use my like draw tool. I don't know. I even stuck like a freaking paper clip down it. Nothing worked. So,
Yeah.
So draw could have used some help.
Yeah, for me, the cigar started out with the profile of aged wood along with some baking spice. Further in that baking spice transitioned to black pepper. About an inch in, that pepper took the lead over the wood. Retrohale was primarily wood, kind of maintained that baking spice as well. As the third was coming to a close, that pepper settled back down. The aged wood moved back to the front. Strength was right around medium. Getting the second third, that black pepper transitioned back to the baking spice. Aged wood remained up front. A little further in, that wood and the baking spice became even. Slight bitterness joined the profile. An inch in, a little char joined as the bitterness was increasing a little bit, kind of throwing the profile out of balance a little bit. Strength remained at medium. Then getting in the final third, bitterness settled down a little bit. Char remained there while the wood and the baking spice is still present in the background. A little further in, a little bit of minerality joined the profile. Retro carried a slightly charred aged wood note to it. And then at an inch in, the cigar warmed up, brought a little mintiness to the charred wood and the minerality. That's how the cigar finished out. And strength remained at that medium level mark. In regards to the burn, it got off pretty far in the first third, required a touch up. It was a little bit wavy after that. Ash held on to the halfway point of the cigar. I knocked it off. I just didn't want to have it drop all over me. But after that ash drop, it went all the way through to the end of the cigar. In regards to the draw, slightly tighter than I prefer, but that's not really a big deal. Didn't have any issues with the smoking experience in regards to the draw, so it was pretty good. Overall, what were your thoughts on this one?
My thoughts are, it's spot on to what a lot of Santana does. I mean, it's a lot of like good nuanced melding of flavors. Like all his cigars are like really bready. Just it's like a toastiness to it, nuttiness to it. And this cigar is no different. And fairly light on the spice category. I really dug the finish of this cigar. I mean, next to Cuban cigars, it's really hard to find cigars with this much cleanliness, you know, with like no grit, like no like ashy aftertaste to it. Burn and draw, definitely draw needed help, which leads me to think, I mean, this is what, I think this is like our third or fourth DeCrossier cigar that we reviewed, right?
Yeah.
And all of these within this new factory that he's under, this ABAM factory.
Yeah.
I don't know, like check production. I mean, construction seems to be a consistent issue. So
yeah. Yeah, I thought the first order had a good combination of aged wood and baking spice, kind of transition to black pepper. Second, third reverted to the baking spice, but ended with some char and bitterness. Construction was pretty good aside from some of that wrapper not wanting to burn in unison. I thought this was just an okay experience. I think I like some of Santana's other blends a little bit better than this one. I'd probably look for some of those other ones before I'd go to this one. But it's not a bad cigar. I mean, if you want to, if this is going to be your introduction to the blend, I mean, to the brand, it's not going to be a bad one. It's going to, make you want to seek out others and see what else he's doing. And it's still a good cigar. So getting the scores, you gave it a 6.52. I gave it a 5.75. How do you think that matched up with your experience?
match well. I mean, I rated overall flavors to be good. Some points taken off on the construction, but focusing on flavors, this is definitely something I would smoke again.
Yeah, for me, the cigar was above average in regards to flavor profile, average overall. So that's kind of where I get that 5.75. Construction could be a little bit better. That would get it, maybe into the sixes. So it's it's an enjoyable cigar, but it's not one I'm gonna run down to chase after and get some more. But I'd smoke it if it's available to me. So it's not anything bad to say about the cigar. Any other final thoughts from you on this one?
I was thinking about. I kind of feel like when we review cigars, constructions is just like, all right, let's just go through the motion. It's good,
Right.
it's good, right? Typically, right? But it's a really pivotal key point because one of the things that pissed me off the most is when I buy a cigar, right? Like cigars aren't necessarily cheap, right? You spend $9-10 or whatever, and immediately if it's going to be a tight draw, like it turns me down to it.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's really important to have. And what nowadays, with the factories out there, there's really no excuse to have a crappy constructed cigar.
Yeah.
Where so many factories are firing on all cylinders constructing cigars. So, not to bitch too much, but it is a concern, I think.
Yeah, it's a valid concern. All right, if you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us. But also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. Be sure to follow us on all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Google+. You can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts. So iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.